Happy Halloween, creepers!
We made it! Day 31! Yay!
Got little costumes now.
Yes, we both decided to show up as characters from movies that we have reviewed. My character...
Well, technically you didn't review it.
I didn't review it.
But you watched it with us.
But I did watch it with you guys, so...
Let's see if you can guess it.
Okay, so...
I won't tell you what I am.
Last night we watched...
That's harder.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
2007's Trick or Treat. Another movie that I missed because my kids were babies. York was born in 2007. We started this whole thing with an...
Oh, the movie?
With an anthology.
Oh. I didn't know what you were talking about.
It's okay. And now we're ending it with...
An anthology.
An anthology. So this was written and directed by an X-Men director, actually. By Michael Dougherty, yeah. He did, I think, X-Men Apocalypse. He also did Godzilla, the one with 11 from Stranger Things in it. That was, which one was that? It was...
King of the Monsters?
Yeah, that's it. And Trick or Treat is probably a hugely popular Halloween movie that I did not see. So I always thought, oh, maybe I should see it. And I just never got around to it. I didn't like it that much. I know everybody's like, oh my God, it's like such a great movie.
It was pretty good.
It's fun. Just there's too many kids dying in this movie. And I don't mean teenagers, because you know what? I don't care if teenagers die. But there's too many children that die
What do you
in
rate
this
it?
movie. Huh?
What do you rate
three.
it?
Three
I give it
skulls.
3.5.
It has Dylan Baker in it, is probably the main character, the principal.
The principal, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it has Brian Cox in it, and Brian Cox's character, Mr. Krieg, he is supposed to look like John Carpenter. They wanted him to look like John Carpenter, so he's like the long hair and the mustache, and he smokes a lot, like John Carpenter. I hope that John Carpenter found this amusing and not
Offensive?
offensive. This is not going to be a long one because it is Halloween, and we do have, plans
Stuff
for
to do.
Halloween.
So should we just run through it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Like it starts.
All right, so it starts with this guy and his wife, right? There was a wedding band.
Tama Paniket and Leslie Bibb. Tama Paniket played Hilo on Battlestar Galactica, and Leslie Bibb played, she played the journalist in the Iron Man movies. They're married, and it seems like they're coming in for the end of their Halloween night, and she blows out her pumpkin a little early.
Yep.
And he's like...
Yeah, across the street.
He's checking out her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, fine, go put the tape in. So he goes upstairs and puts on a porn. There was a lot more porn in this movie than I thought there was going to be.
I took away.
So she goes in.
Isn't it supposed to be a kid's movie? No?
I thought it was too, but apparently not.
There's a lot of bobs.
There was a lot of bobs in that one scene. While she is cleaning up the yard, because apparently that's something you do before you go home to bed. She's cleaning up her yard.
You don't leave it overnight?
That's like a November 1st morning cleanup. What the heck? So anyways, she's cleaning up the yard of all of she says, I hate Halloween, yet they have like the most Halloween decorations I've ever seen in my life.
They have a really nice yard, just saying. They have nice decorations.
She's putting away all the Halloween decorations. And
maybe he likes Halloween.
What happens to her? I wasn't even looking.
So she's like doing stuff, taking down things.
But we don't see what happens to her until the end.
We saw Sam across the street.
Yeah, but did you see Sam?
No.
No. Go ahead.
She gets like taken under, like the ghosties have this sheet over them, so she's taken under a sheet, and you see like a lollipop or pops.
It's a big lollipop. Shoved into her mouth.
Oh.
And it's just her head at that point, right? I thought.
Well, then he comes out, and then he's looking around. There's feet. There's a hand dangling, and we're like, it's totally a hand. And then there's one glowing. One of the ghosties are glowing, I have to tear my mouth. One of the ghosties are glowing, so he takes it off, and it's her head.
It is. It's her head.
And other body parts.
So that's like, it's like half of the full story for them. Well, kind of. No, that's their full story, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then they move on to, I don't know. It shows the principal. Principal turns out to be like a serial killer.
This kid is like, yay.
Oh, did I tell you that the barf from that fat kid, like he was spewing barf all over the place? The director said, oh yeah, that's, it's totally edible, the barf. And he like cleaned it up and licked it.
Hey, that reminds me of something in Ginger Snaps with the blood.
Yeah, but that's still gross. Barf is grosser than blood.
Yeah.
To me.
Bleh.
All right, go on. Let's see. Anna Paquin's in this movie, and she's not a vampire or screwing a vampire. She does get bit by a vampire, fake vampire, but...
Chomp. Well, we don't know that.
Right.
Chomp.
Why don't we know that?
Because it seems like he's a vampire. There's blood and stuff, and we learned that he's a fake later.
That was a bunch of girls out on a... They were trying to get their friend to lose her virginity, or I guess their pack mate. I'm just gonna say it right now. She's dressed like Little Red Riding Hood, and then they turn out.
We're like wolf story.
They turn into wolves, and there's a lot of boobs in that one. Just FYI.
Yeah.
This one didn't care though, so he's kind of over it. The one that upset me the most was the Children on the Bus massacre. And
these kids were in a bus, but they were different apparently. And the parents paid him, right?
Paid the bus driver to drive the bus off a cliff with the kids
into an abandoned quarry, yeah, full of water.
There's a kid in there. They're all chained to their seats too, because they're supposed to be disturbed children. And they're all chained to their seats. And the main kid in that scene is Richard Harmon. And
he's
I love
a
Richard
vampire.
Harmon, and if you're watching Richard Harmon, I love you so much.
He's a nice vampire mask and stuff.
Yeah. So they are, so they tell that story, but that's like not that night. That's a backstory that they tell these kids that are going to. So there's this little girl, her name is Rhonda, and she is high functioning autism, and they go and a bunch of kids pretend like they're going to like her and take her out trick or treating with them, and there's a cute boy, and he's kind of flirting with her and stuff like that. But it turned out, and her house looks like Carrie White's house from Carrie, which is funny because Carrie White eventually gets her revenge on her bullies too. So they trick her and make her think that they get killed by the kids from the bus, and what?
She falls
down and she hurts her head. She's
rude.
Okay, though. Yeah, totally rude. And she gets back onto the only way up is an elevator, and she gets back onto it. She locks her bullies out of the elevator.
And the bullies get attacked by the
actual
kids.
Kids actually come up from the bus and attack them. And like I think that was probably, I mean,
that was kind of like the boy who cried wolf. They lied before, so
yeah.
She didn't.
So there was that story in it, and the principal who was a serial killer, his story, and the Wolfpack story, and Mr. Krieg's story. Mr. Krieg, the next door neighbor to the principal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, his story.
So he's like a Scrooge.
Yeah.
To Halloween.
The Scrooge of Halloween, they like to call him. It's kind of cool. But that's Brian Cox, and he has a little bit of an interesting. I wasn't that impressed with this movie. I know everybody loves this movie so much, and oh my god, you know what? Sam was cute. I have to admit it. Sam was an adorable little monster, and I loved him, and that's it.
Until he took off his mask.
You got freaked out. I wasn't even scared. I've seen the actual pumpkin head, so.
Pyramid head, pumpkin head. That's the thing I just thought of.
So he wasn't that scary. Your face is way too white, and I apologize so much. Ow. I did a very bad job on Finn's makeup, and I'm feeling like crap about it, and I'm so sorry, Finn. I'll know next time. Is your skin peeling off?
Rip.
Your dead skin, is it peeling off?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we can just reveal who we were.
So I'm supposed to be one of the kids from Sinister. You're welcome.
Sinister. So that scares me because I don't want to be murdered tonight. I'm going to check all of my drinks. I am supposed to be one of the girls from The Descent, obviously. I'm in my climbing gear and I look like I have gotten into a cave-in and I might be experiencing some spooky
What's with the
monsters
accent that you just turned
later. So
on like a weird
anyways,
accent?
I want you guys to all have a happy Halloween. We had a wonderful time doing that this month. From now
Yeah.
on, we're only going to be doing this once a week, so probably next week we'll
Probably
start up again.
Sundays. Actually, next week, Dad wants to do that Hot Ones.
Okay.
So me and my dad might do a Hot Ones episode.
So we had a wonderful time watching 31 movies. We did not get burnt out watching the movies. We got burnt out filming. That was it.
Yep.
We
much.
will do this again next year. Yes, we will. So we want you to go and vote. Have a happy Halloween. Have a safe Halloween. Make sure you are social distancing, please. Wear your masks.
And I've heard people are going to parties. Like,
Please stop. Stop going to parties.
stop.
Like and subscribe.
And we'll see you next time.